Imagine this: you're sipping your morning coffee at 35,000 feet, watching clouds drift by your window, completely unaware that you're aboard what might be this airline's final journey. Every year, billions of passengers trust their lives to commercial aviation, yet few realize how fragile these massive corporations truly are. When an airline suddenly collapses, it creates a domino effect that extends far beyond cancelled flights and stranded passengers. The aviation industry operates on razor-thin profit margins, where a single miscalculation can trigger catastrophic failure. Behind every airline bankruptcy lies a complex web of financial obligations, international contracts, and millions of dollars worth of aircraft that suddenly find themselves without an owner, creating one of the most fascinating dramas in modern business. The shockwave, March 28, 2019, started like any ordinary day for thousands of travelers across Europe. Passengers were checking in for their flights. Families were heading to reunions. Business travelers were rushing to important meetings. Then, without warning, WOW Air vanished from the skies in a matter of hours. The Icelandic budget carrier, known for its vibrant purple livery and affordable transatlantic routes, simply ceased to exist overnight. The airline's final message was brutally brief: WOW Air has ceased operation. All flights are cancelled. Planes that were airborne were ordered to land immediately at the nearest airport, while those on the ground never moved again. Passengers found themselves stranded across 3 continents with worthless tickets. Locked-out employees discovered their workplace had disappeared, and millions of dollars worth of aircraft sat motionless on tarmacs worldwide. The hidden truth about ownership: here's something that might surprise you. Most airlines don't actually own the planes they fly. Delta Airlines, one of the world's largest carriers, leases over half of its massive fleet. Budget airlines like Ryanair and Spirit can lease up to 80% of their aircraft, while even prestigious carriers like Singapore Airlines and Air France rely heavily on leased planes. This revelation fundamentally changes how we understand airline operations and bankruptcy. The real owners are aircraft leasing companies, the landlords of the sky. Giants like AerCap, SMBC, Aviation Capital, and Air Lease Corporation own thousands of aircraft worth hundreds of billions of dollars. They purchase planes directly from manufacturers and rent them to airlines through contracts lasting 5 to 15 years, creating a complex ecosystem where ownership and operation are completely separate entities. The Great Repossession: when an airline declares bankruptcy, a frantic race begins that the industry calls the Great Repossession. Leasing companies immediately activate specialized recovery teams comprising lawyers, technical inspectors, and pilots who are dispatched globally to reclaim their assets. Time becomes the enemy. Every hour that passes increases the risk of aircraft being trapped by local regulations, unpaid airport fees, or government interventions. This process can resemble a high-stakes thriller more than a business transaction. During Kingfisher Airlines' collapse in India in 2012, the airline had piled up lease rental of 984 crore, leading to the grounding of 66 aircraft. The airline's flying license was suspended on October 20, 2012, by the DGCA due to serious concerns over safety and financial viability. While lessors faced complex legal battles to recover their valuable assets from Indian airports, desert graveyards once reclaimed, these orphaned aircraft begin an unexpected journey to specialized storage facilities around the world. The Mojave Air and Spaceport in California, Southern California Logistics Airport in Victorville, and similar facilities serve as aircraft sanctuaries. These locations are specifically chosen for their dry desert climates, which reduce corrosion, and their vast open spaces that can accommodate hundreds of aircraft in organized rows. The storage process is surprisingly meticulous. Engineers seal engines, tape windows, cover tires, and essentially put the entire aircraft into an induced hibernation. These aren't abandoned machines that preserve time capsules from the day their airline died, maintained and monitored while awaiting their next chapter in aviation history. Second chances and scrap metal: the fate of a bankruptcy aircraft depends largely on its age and condition. Newer jets like the Boeing 787 Dreamliner or Airbus A350 become highly sought-after prizes in the aviation market. Other airlines, eager to expand their fleets at bargain prices, often swoop in to lease or purchase these modern aircraft. WOW Air's former Airbus A321s exemplify this phoenix-like resurrection. Within weeks of the airline's collapse, these planes were flying again under new colors for carriers like Wizz Air and Air Canada. However, older aircraft face a grimmer destiny. Aging Boeing 757s and early-generation A330 South that aren't quickly snapped up become sources of spare parts. Their engines, landing gear, and avionics are systematically removed and sold to keep other aircraft flying, while their hollow shells are left behind in aviation boneyards, silent monuments to careers that span decades and millions of miles. The economics of aviation resurrection: the aircraft leasing industry operates on a simple principle. Planes must fly to generate revenue. Monthly lease payments can range from $200,000 for a narrow-body aircraft to over $1 million for a wide-body jet, making idle aircraft extremely expensive. This economic pressure drives the rapid turnaround we often see after airline collapses. Leasing companies have entire departments dedicated to remarketing aircraft, complete with teams that can strip old liveries, apply new paint schemes, and reconfigure interiors within weeks. The global appetite for certain aircraft types, particularly the Airbus A320 family and Boeing 737 series, ensures these workhorses rarely stay grounded for long. These narrow-body jets form the backbone of short and medium-haul travel worldwide, making them perpetually valuable assets regardless of which airline previously operated them. Conclusion: the eternal journey. The story of what happens when airlines die reveals a fascinating truth about modern aviation. In this industry, death is rarely permanent. Aircraft change hands, colors, and countries, but they continue their eternal journey across the skies. Behind every bankruptcy lies human drama, lost jobs, stranded passengers, and shattered dreams, but also stories of resurrection, adaptation, and the relentless forward motion of global commerce. These tales remind us that aviation is more than just transportation. It's a complex ecosystem where million-dollar machines outlive the companies that operate them. The next time you board a flight, remember that your aircraft might have served multiple airlines, crossed countless borders, and survived corporate collapses to bring you safely to your destination. Join the World Documentaries family by subscribing and hitting that notification bell. We explore the hidden stories behind the world's most fascinating industries. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever been affected by an airline bankruptcy? What surprised you most about this process? Your experiences and insights help our community learn together, so don't hesitate to share your aviation stories below.